I feel like it's like back to the old days. Every single time I'm starting my live now, I'm just putting my lip gloss on. Yeah, it's just like I don't think about it until I'm about to get on live. Because, like, I'll do my, like, oil in the morning or whatever and, like, moisturize. But I never think about before I get on live, like, oh, I want my lips to be glossy kind of situation until afterwards. But hi, everybody. Welcome in. I hope all is well with you today. We are doing a Q&A today, so I'm going to be supporting you guys on what questions you have about insulin resistance and diabetes and understanding what's going on with our health. Sadly, because usually, like, I look at, like, notes and things like that, but my iPad is dying and I don't have a charger currently right now. I only have my phone charger with me. So I want to do a Q&A with you guys and hear what questions and concerns you have about insulin resistance or diabetes. If you have any questions about where it's stemming from, what's happening inside of your body, do you even know what's happening inside of your body? What questions do you have for me today about insulin resistance, diabetes, inflammation in general? Because if you do not know, inflammation does feed and fuels you having diabetes or insulin resistance, because inflammation is your body's sign to let you know that you have an overload of toxins. And so when you are built up with toxins from the foods that you eat, the products that you use every single day, you have to realize that inflammation is your body's way of talking to you. And so a lot of people sit there and ignore their inflammation. They use a prescription or a medication to lower their inflammation because they're in pain, or maybe they just don't have time to deal with it, or whatever else that they have going on. So they try to use that momentary quick fix, right? But that momentary quick fix is not going to help you in the long run, because maybe let's say you've been taking Advil, Aleve, Tylenol, or whatever else for years because you have knee pain, you have back pain, or you're dealing with different issues because when you work out, now all of a sudden, like, oh, you can't work out for long because you feel fatigued and things like that. So you're taking all of these different supplements and all these different things, and you're not realizing it's a sign from your body to let you know that there's an imbalance, there's something off. So this is the reason why when you work out, you have knee pain. This is the reason why when you're sitting there doing your everyday activity, your body aches. This is the reason why when you sit there and after you have a long day, you literally cannot mentally grasp the concept of the fact that you don't need to sit there in front of the TV and eat a whole bunch of sugar, because your body is sitting there craving a bunch of sugar because you spiked your blood sugar all day long. So all it's been able to do is just expel a bunch of sugar that is toxic to your body. This is a sign of inflammation, and it shows itself in the way of you being fatigued, mentally fogged, having anxiety, sitting there in and out of depression episodes, having panic attacks. It shows itself in your gut. It shows itself in your skin. So these are all signs that your body's inflamed, and these are also signs of your blood sugar being spiked. Inflammation and blood sugar dysregulation go hand in hand, and not too many people understand that. And so they sit there and they try to take this prescription, or they try to take this tincture, and they're like, oh, it's an anti-inflammatory. But you're not realizing that when you sit there and you continuously eat, you're eating chicken, you're eating beef, you're eating pork, you're sitting here eating your McDonald's, you're sitting here going around and eating dairy and consuming dairy constantly, you're putting your body in an inflamed state. So it does not matter how much anti-inflammatory supplements, how much Tylenol, how much Aleve, or whatever else that you want to throw in there you take, it's not going to help you be able to lower your inflammation, because you keep feeding your body inflammatory things. You keep giving your body inflammatory things. So it's not going to help you. In reality, you're just going to keep sitting here doing the same exact thing, but expecting a different result. That's not possible. It's literal definition of insanity. You say your doctor says your tubes are inflamed and you started eating inflammatorily. Well, if you're eating a diet, there's a difference between diet culture and lifestyle changes. Because when you believe in a diet, thanks to these follows and these likes, when you believe in a diet and you sit there and you think that a diet is going to support you in having healthy habits and support you in being healthy, you have to realize that diets have led you here to being ill. Diet culture has led you flopping back and forth between healthy habits and unhealthy habits, because maybe for a month or two, you want to take care of your body. Then you flop back to, oh, well, I can eat this now because I'm not suffering anymore. You have to establish a lifestyle change. Diet culture does not support you. You have to change your lifestyle completely. You have to change your lifestyle by establishing new habits during this journey of you figuring out how to help your body heal. And so this is what I help you be able to do when you work with me, is understanding that diet culture and lifestyle changes are completely different, and you have to change your lifestyle, because diet culture has led our society where we are now, believing that you can do Jenny Craig, you can do Weight Watchers, you can do keto, you can do paleo, and this is going to support you in being healthy. But they're literally showing you statistics and showing you signs of the fact that keto and paleo actually make you worse off after you do it. You doing Weight Watchers and Jenny Craig is going to help you lose weight during that moment, but as soon as you stop doing that, you're going to gain all the weight back. So this diet culture that we have been brought up to believe in has been debunked not only by science, but also by the results that we get after we stop doing diet culture. And so we have to stop believing in diet culture in order for us to get away from this mentality of, honestly and truly, it's a type of slavery. I don't know what in the world that was supposed to be. You're going to have to rephrase that because you misspelled that. You can be offended all you want to, because people love to come in here and they want to be offended. But if you don't want help, I'm not here to help you. You come in here to ask a question. You come in here to have a Q&A, but then you sit there and you want to argue with the person that you're asking a question to. I'm not here for you if you're here to argue. I'm here to answer. I'm here to have a Q&A, but then you sit there and you want to argue with the person that you're asking a question to. I'm not here for you if you're here to argue. I'm here to answer questions. And if back and forth about something, I'm not here for you, hon. This is not the live for you. If you want to go back and forth, if you actually want help and you want results, I'm here for you. If you just want to go back and forth, I'm not here for you. Let's go find another guru that's selling you a product that's not going to help you at all. That's what you need to go find. Said I'm considering plant-based. Well, if you're going to do plant-based, first thing you have to understand, it's not a diet, it's a lifestyle. You're going to have to establish a new healthy lifestyle change. Dang, my portable charger died. I'm about to turn my car on, y'all. We're going to have to understand that it's a lifestyle change. It's not a diet because, like I just said, if you are in here, diet culture does not support you. All diet culture does is sit there and make you believe that you can take care of your body for one moment and then the next moment you don't. The next minute you don't have to take care of your body. It's that flop back that keeps us in this society of not knowing how to take care of our body, being sick. Even though we lose weight for a minute, you're not realizing that you are still built up with toxins if you're eating inflammatory foods, because Jenny Craig, Weight Watchers, keto, paleo, they still allow you to eat meat, and meat is inflammatory. They still allow you to eat dairy, and dairy is inflammatory. So these things right there that they're teaching you and telling you should have clue in signs to say, this isn't the healthy way for me to go. This is something for me to do momentarily, but if I want to establish healthier habits and be healthy, I have to figure out what in the world have I been doing and get away from that. If you are ready to cut out animal meats, proteins, whatever you want to establish it as, if you want to call it, if you are ready to cut out, because that's the unhealthy proteins, unhealthy fats, unhealthy proteins, if you're ready to cut that out of your life, then I can support you and help you be able to do that. You can book a one-on-one with me, or you can get into my program that'll help you. Let me just go on ahead and let me just go on ahead and help you out if you're in here still. Not only am I gonna block you, but you can go on ahead and leave this live as well. So let me just go on ahead and help you out there for what you need. There you go. Because this live is not for you. Thanks for liking up the live. I really appreciate it. What other questions do you guys have for me? What other questions do you have? Let me see. I'm trying to also... Okay, there we go. There we go. I should have just muted them so they could sit in here and lurk and not be able to say anything, because I love being able to do that to people, but I clicked the block button first so we can just block. That's fine. Let me see. Where's that other person at? Because they obviously don't want any help either. So let me just go ahead and get them so they don't come back onto my live. Oh, okay. I hope I didn't do that on the other one, because I'm not trying to mute the words that they say. I was just trying to get them out of here. And the same thing for this person as well. Let me go on ahead and move them where they can watch all they want to, but they can't say anything. Because like I said, like, trolls love to come in here. You control all you want to. You help push the live. But one thing you're not going to come in here and do is try to disrespect what I have going on, because the Most High put this message on me, and I've been doing it for over a year now, and I've helped so many different people be able to not only understand what is happening in our healthcare system, understand what's happening with our food industry, and also realize that they haven't been taught the habits to take care of their body, and they've been in a whole cycle of programming, and they're ready to release that. Hi, you guys. Hi, both of you. I see your comments, and I really appreciate it. What questions do you guys have for me about insulin resistance, diabetes, inflammation? What do you have going on? And for the people that are actually ready for a change, comment and let me know what you have going on. If you're just here to argue back and forth about what you're doing currently, I'm not here for you. Please swipe up. Please swipe up. What questions do you guys have for me about insulin resistance, about diabetes? What support do you need from me? Because like I said, a lot of people are not realizing that inflammation and diabetes and insulin resistance, like all of those are going hand in hand with inflammation. All these diseases that you have, PCOS, fibroids, IBS, endometriosis, all of these different things. Oh no, I didn't mean to do that. How did it? Okay, so hold on. Let me turn off. I don't know how to get back and turn off the filters. So I'm sorry if it's filtered. Oh, okay, there we go. Okay, I think I turned it off. I don't know. You said, I see your comment about arthritis. I don't know why it said that it was filtered, because I don't even have a filter for that. But you're dealing with arthritis. Arthritis is an inflammation. It's an inflammatory disease. So is diabetes. It's an anti-inflammatory disease. Your blood sugar is being spiked. Obviously, that's causing your diabetes. But the blood sugar spike is coming from a overload of you not having stabilizers. So when you consume a whole bunch of sugars, processed sugars, carbs, you consume a whole bunch of different things that spike your blood sugar, and you don't have a stabilizer with it, and you do this for years on end, this is how you develop diabetes. So over time of you sitting here not balancing your blood sugar daily with everything that you eat is going to cause you to become insulin resistant. Insulin resistance is your cell's ability to, or your lack of ability rather, your cell's lack of ability to respond to insulin so that it can convert it into energy. The sugar should be converted into energy, right? But now that you are insulin resistant, your body's no longer going to convert it into energy. Now it's trying to figure out how to expel. So this means your pancreas, your liver, and your kidney are working overtime. So you're sitting here every single day with your organs internally working overtime. This is going to cause more inflammation than what you already have going on, which is going to show up in different signs. So you can start to develop high blood pressure, high cholesterol. You can also start to develop different issues. Like you said, you have arthritis. I don't know if it happened before or after, but this is a key sign to let you know that you are overinflamed on the inside. And so that overinflammation is going to cause a number of different issues, either currently right now or later on during the line, especially if you are taking insulin, because insulin is not helping you lower your inflammation and heal. But in reality, insulin has pork in it. And a lot of people love to say that they don't eat pork, but they don't realize that insulin has pork in it. Pork is an inflammatory meat. Not only is pork dirty, but all meats cause inflammation in a different way, shape, or form. And so when you look at that and you see that they have pork inside of insulin, and this is supposed to be your management prescription, you will realize that they're not here to help you. They're here to keep you and keep you as a customer. And so now we have to get away from, okay, now I'm managing, to how do I heal? And so you have to first look at your habits, adjust what you've been doing, and realize that once you adjust what you've been doing, that you haven't been supporting your body and stabilizing your blood sugar. And then now you try to establish new healthy habits. I'm not saying you cut everything out and start restricting. You have to find replacements first. This is how you not only feel comfortable in your change, but also make this simplified for yourself. Because if you find replacements first, you're not going to be worried about what to eat later on when you're starving. You're so welcome. What other questions do you guys have for me? Thanks for the follows. I really appreciate it. I see you also said arthritis. So like I said, like arthritis is going to come hand in hand with that inflammatory issue. So if you figure out, not just saying like, oh, eat your turmeric and your ginger, because it's deeper than that. Because if you're eating meat and dairy still, those two things are not going to be able to heal you. They're going to be managing, just like you're doing with prescription. And I talk to a lot of people that talk about, well, I do my ginger, I take my ginger shots, or, oh, I constantly consume turmeric or my lemon water or whatever else. And I'm like, okay, but what do you eat? And they're like, oh, I don't eat much. I just eat chicken, or I just eat dairy. I don't eat it often. But then you're sitting there like, okay, how much fruits and vegetables do you eat on a daily? And they're looking at me like, I might eat fruit. That's not enough. Like, you should be sitting here listing off. Like, if you ask me, okay, which I fast in the AM. I don't break my fast usually before now. Like, I usually don't break my fast before 12. I usually fast until about, it's been lately around like 3 p.m. So my fast usually goes between 12 to 3, all the way the latest is 5. So if I break my fast at 5, I usually only eat about like 1 meal. If I break my fast at 12, I usually eat 2 meals a day, maybe a snack and a meal. It just really depends. But a lot of people don't realize that, like, their habits are not healthy, and they're sitting there trying to argue that they are. But when you talk to somebody who's plant-based like me, and you're like, okay, you broke your fast at 12, what do you eat today? Oh, okay, I started my day out, maybe I started with fruits. If I didn't start it with fruit, I'm starting with water. So it's either one or both. Then, okay, after that, let's say I'm not full. Oh, well, usually when I break my day with fruits, it's not just fruit by itself. It's usually fruit, a nut butter, and some seeds. So it's 3 different things right there that make me feel full. But let's say on a weird day, I'm not full. Okay, I broke my fast. I've started flushing my body and I'm still hungry. Okay, so my next thing is going to be what can be a healthy fat and something that's going to give me healthy proteins so that I have my stabilizer so I'm not hungry all day and I'm not eating for the rest of the day. Oh, I know. Let me go on ahead and get chickpeas, for instance. Maybe I want some hummus. Let me add that with a pickle. Let me add that with sauerkraut. These are different things because you don't realize this. We, especially in America, we don't eat enough things to support our gut biome early in the AM. When you are sitting here consuming all of these different toxic foods and you never support your gut, this is the reason why you develop IBS. This is the reason why you have gut-related issues, because you never support your gut. A lot of people don't realize that it's as simple as you just eating or drinking pickle juice, you getting sauerkraut. This is going to help you be able to balance your stomach pH. So when you're deciding, oh, okay, now it's time for me to actually eat some real food, your pH acidity can help you digest that food. So this is what it looks like to live a plant-based lifestyle. I don't have to sit here and break this down to myself every single day, because these are things that I do for myself without having to sit here and think about, oh, I need vitamin A and C and D. I know. No, my refrigerator reflects what I need to eat. You shouldn't be sitting here consuming and not realizing how you're consuming. And too many people are out here consuming and not realizing what you need to be eating because they're so focused on filling rather than fueling. You said this nose ring. I'm gonna have to take it out. Let's see. Your kidney levels are low. See, and at that point, when you're having to go to specialist doctors, and I've said this before in a live, and I mean this all love and light, not to scare you, but rather just to paint the picture of your reality. If you're going to specialists because there are different organs failing inside of your body, this is your body's way of telling you that you are slowly unaliving. Your body is no longer helping itself heal, and not only is it not able to just manage and make it by day to day, but now your organs are shutting down. They're failing. And so even whatever stage you are at, because they love to say, well, you're only at stage 1, you're okay, all the way up to, well, you're at stage 2, it's okay, but when you get to stage 3, now all of a sudden it's a panic. Why didn't they make you sit there and come to the realization at stage 1? Because they want you to keep coming back. And so at stage 3, they know you're not going to change your habits. You're going to give up. So when you go to stage 4 and you have to do dialysis, now at this point, majority of people give up. They don't care. And so you have to realize that instead of, which you should be going to the doctor, but instead of going to a specialist and getting prescribed more prescriptions, go to the specialist, hear what they have to say, and then take that home and go, okay, so they said I need anti-inflammatory help. They said that this is low. I need to watch my potassium intake. So this means you need to flush more. This means you need to be able to get more stabilizers. These are different things that you need because kidney disease and diabetes go hand in hand. Kidney disease and insulin resistance go hand in hand. So these are the different things that you need to start establishing. And if you are suffering from diabetes and insulin resistance and you want support, I do have an Eating Away Diabetes Cookbook that is linked in my bio that is going to help you and support you in doing this. You said you take metformin. I have heard of that, but I don't know what it is. I don't know what that is exactly. Metformin. I said metformin. Goodness, I combined 2 different words. Metformin, I've heard of it, but I don't know what that is. I hear all of these different prescription commercials, but I have no reason to pay attention to them. Like I know that whole what is that commercial about the A1C that she sings the whole song? I know the whole entire song to that because that's how they get you to make you feel comfortable. But you don't sit there and hear the whole long list of heart failure, kidney failure, high blood pressure, and everything else that they say in that whole long list of side effects that can come. I fast in the morning, eating about 1. That's absolutely amazing. Intermittent fasting is great if you eat correctly. If you're eating fruits and vegetables and you intermittent fast, this is how you help your body heal. But if you intermittent fast, because I'm speaking from experience, if you intermittent fast and you still eat meat and you still eat dairy, you're in the same boat as you eating all day. It's not good for you to eat all day when you're eating all that crap, but it's the same boat. You're just going to be managing instead of healing. Because in 2020, I started intermittent fasting. I was not plant-based. The only time that I saw a complete difference in transformation with intermittent fasting was when I went plant-based. I saw the difference of what happened to my body. Thanks to the follows. I really appreciate it. I see you guys. Thanks for the likes too. Hi, Kiki. Okay. It doesn't have to be scary. It can be scary to get diagnosed, and it can be scary at the thoughts. But when you get past the thought, because the thought is scary, that's what majority of people have the issue with, is the thought of change. It's not the action of change, because the thought of going to the gym is scary. The thought of you stop eating meat is scary. The thought of you stop eating dairy is scary. But when you actually get there, you're fine. The thought, let's say you tried this for the first time. For me, this was something that was scary for me. Going out for the first time by myself, not going out to the club, but like going out and actually being in a social gathering by myself. It was scary. Once I got there was no problem. Like, because we have the thought process that is scary, but when you actually are in that reality, it's not scary at all. It's actually pretty clarifying. And that's why I said that when people come and work with me, or even just watching my lives, and they realize that, yeah, I have been poisoned all my life and I've been programmed to poison myself. The thought goes of the scariness goes away, and the reality hits of they want me to be scared to not change. They want me to be scared to not realize that, like, the doctors are not helping me heal. They want you to be scared of natural medicine. They want you to be scared of herbs, because then you'll start to realize that you can help your body heal. They want you to be scared of going to somebody who's like me, who tells you you can help your body heal and you can do it naturally, and you don't have to have a whole PhD program in order for you to learn how to take care of your body. Because if you start to realize that these people who are naturopaths in the beginning, these holistic health people that were here before Western medicine, they didn't have to go through a 8-year program. They didn't have to go through a 10-year program in order for them to know how to help people heal their bodies. There's a reason why now you have to go through programming in order for you to get a degree, because they need you to push the agenda. Because at the end of the day, if you don't push their agenda and you've gone through this program, what happens? You lose your license. You lose your credibility. But when you don't go through their programming, they sit there and make it seem like you're the dumbest person in the world and you couldn't possibly learn how to take care of your own body. Does that sound right? When people were literally helping themselves heal in their own homes back in the day, now they're sitting there telling you, you can't help yourself if you don't have a PhD degree. You don't know anything about your own body. Does that sound correct? Does that sound right? Let me see where you guys are. Let me see. Hold on. I'm seeing your questions. Hold on. Backed up. I got on a tangent. I'm still answering questions for the people that just joined. Thanks to the follows. Thanks to the likes. Exactly. That's how I feel. That's how I felt when I was told about I'm pre-diabetic. It can be scary. Yeah, as I said, it can be scary. But if you are ready for a change and you know that you don't want to do insulin, get away from Western medicine and start to understand that they're never going to help you heal. They're just going to keep you on a prescription and move you along to the next patient, to the next doctor. And they're going to move you along until you either have to have a surgery, you get put on some type of life-threatening disease issue, and then you have to go on dialysis or whatever else kind of treatment plan, and then eventually unalive. They don't care about where you're ending up. They only care about how long they can keep you as a customer, because that's what you are, a customer. What would you say about high blood pressure? High blood pressure is an inflammatory disease. If you're suffering from high blood pressure, that means you're not using food as your medicine, because there's no reason for your blood pressure to be high unless your body is in a panic state that is not flushing itself. So you have to look at how much inflammatory foods that you are eating, as well as inflammatory products. And if you want to learn more of that, let me know. How long have I been plant-based? Over 4 years. It's about to be, I think, about 4.5. You said that part. Thank you. Follows. Thank you for the follows. Thank you for the likes. I'm thinking of seeing a holistic doctor. Please do that. Go do that. If you can afford going to a holistic doctor, because majority of them are not covered by insurance, go do that. That will help you and support you in every way, shape, or form. That will help you. Even though I'm not sitting here as a licensed holistic doctor, I still do the same work that they do, because I learned the same things that they do. Because just like how I can go on here, do research just like they can, it's accessible to you. It's the matter of what you do and how you do it. And so if you can afford that, please go do that. Do that more than you going to any Western medicine doctor. But it can get pricey. It can get pricey. So that's why, one, my services are not cheap either, but you can get my products and services with Klarna Affirma Afterpay. I don't know what their programs are as far as payment plans and all the different things, but you can get everything that I offer with Klarna Affirma Afterpay. Even though I don't have a PhD doctor title, I went to school for psychology. I learned stuff about the body. I learned plenty about the body. We have to go through biology for a reason. I learned about human consciousness as well as the brain and everything else going on, the functions of the body as well. And there's a reason why for that, because psychology and your body go hand in hand when it comes to your functions. And a lot of people don't realize that, because I talk about stress and cortisol. I think probably about a month ago, it wasn't a couple of lives ago, probably about a month ago, I talked about your stress and your cortisol, and how the fact that you're raising your cortisol with the foods that you eat as well as the products that you use, and you don't realize that that's a stress hormone. So just because you're tired and you're stressed out at work, or your family and your kids or whatever else that you have going on, you're also not realizing when you go home and you eat that ice cream because you're so stressed out and you're really wanting to emotionally eat, you're raising your cortisol, which is making your stress worse. And then you internally inhabit that stress. And as a woman, our stress is stored inside of our hips. It's stored inside of our pelvic. It's stored in our womb. And so that's the reason why we're now seeing this issue with reproductive harm happening with our society of women. We're seeing all these issues with our women's having infertility issues, PCOS, fibroids, cysts, all of these painful menstrual cycles, PMS. There's a reason why, because we're storing so much trauma inside of our pelvis and we're not releasing it. That is not only a psychological issue, but an actual physical issue with the habits that you have. You said, here, where's this healing? Money driven. All of it's money driven. Facts. Okay, let's see where we are. What other questions do you guys have for me? He said, I heal my decades-long intestinal issues. What kind of, you have to change, all of us, do you have to change your lifestyle? Yes, I want to know. Oh, Queen, you got to run it back by me. I've lost my train of thought. What was, was it anti-inflammatory, Queen? Was that what it was? I lost my train of thought. You know, I've gone on to many different tangents. Emotions raise blood pressure and diabetes. Exactly. Just like how they said that you can literally stress yourself out into the grave. Y'all also realize that y'all are eating yourselves into the grave too, because we love to talk about how stress is when it comes to like you dealing and managing externally, because when you see somebody stressed out externally, you can see it on their face, you can see it on their skin, you can see how it ages them if they've been stressed out for years, right? But do you not realize that it also does that to you internally? So that it ages your organs internally and makes your organs work overtime. This is going to cause a number of different issues. This is why your blood sugar spikes, and people don't realize that. And then you develop more different issues because you sit there and you do the same thing but expect a different result. Less panic in our mindset lowers your blood sugar. Exactly. If you do that plays a lot with it. Stomach as well. It affects all of it. How can we do fasting to lower bad cholesterol? Fasting is not the only thing that you're going to have to do to lower your bad cholesterol. If you want to help your cholesterol, you're going to have to realize that you have to change the foods that you eat. Fasting is a good thing for you to start with, combining with you eating a plant-based lifestyle of you eating more fruits and vegetables and getting rid of meat and dairy. Because when you have bad cholesterol, that means you're eating bad cholesterol. That means you're eating bad foods. Anything that is negatively impacting your body, that means you're negatively consuming. So you're eating and consuming something that is negative towards the body. And so you have to realize that if you're having bad cholesterol, that means you're eating a bunch of bad cholesterol foods, because they sit there and they love to sit here and preach and promote you eating butter and all these different fatty things from animals, but they're also in the same breath not telling you, or they're telling you, but they're not making it public knowledge in the same breath to let you know that, do you realize how inflammatory these things are? You're not supposed to be eating all this meat from pork. You're not supposed to be sitting here consuming all this dairy. Even though they tell you all the time how the good cholesterol comes from butter, when you see people eating a whole bunch of butter, you sit there and tell them that they have high cholesterol. Do you know that Alfredo sauce is mostly butter? Do you know the majority of the foods that you eat is mostly butter? And we're sitting around here with a bunch of people with high cholesterol, high blood pressure. Why? Because y'all are told these things and you want to argue to the day you unalive that that's the way you should be consuming. Queen said about her blood pressure. Okay. What was I saying? Anti-inflammatory help for your blood pressure. So, like I said, if you were dealing with, I thought that was an animal, but I think it's a rock. I was about to say, what kind of animal is that? Sorry, y'all, I'm out and about. As you can see, I'm in my car. So when you were dealing with high blood pressure issues and you want to lower your blood pressure, obviously, like we talked about, you're going to have to lower your cortisol. So lowering your cortisol, which is your stress hormone, looks like you knowing what you're eating and consuming and knowing what products you're using. Because if you have inflammation going on inside of your body, this is going to cause your blood pressure to spike, because this is your body's panic. This is your body's fight or flight mode, and it's going off. These are red flags. And so you have to start to, one, eat anti-inflammatory foods. Two, either find non-toxic products, and if you want to save money, start making your own. I make my own. It's not difficult at all. And then on top of that, you can make it in bulk, so you're not having to make it every single week or however often. You just have to learn how to do it. And if you want to learn how to do that, you can book a one-on-one with me. If you want to learn in depth after you book that one-on-one, if you do want to get into the program, or if you just want to get into the program in general, if you book a one-on-one, that price will go towards the program price. If you just want to get into the program, you can get a Klarna, Affirma, Afterpay, everything, product and services that I have, you can do that. And I also have, for you to lower your inflammation, I have a cleansing and detoxing bundle. I can't think of the name of it right here on top of my head. I don't know why it has escaped me, but that is going to help you not only get rid of your inflammation with the anti-inflammatory, because it's a bundle of books. So it's anti-inflammatory, it's microplastics, heavy metal detoxing, parasite cleansing, fruit and vegetable cleansing, fasting guide, and then it's also going to give you a template guide. So there's 7 books total in that bundle, with one of them being a template guide, and that's going to help you be able to completely reset your body. I feel like it's the full reset or something. It's something, the full reset, and that will help you be able to lower your blood sugar and understand how to start eating a plant-based lifestyle, and how fruits and vegetables really truly help support you in a way that they have not taught you. This little nose ring might have to go, y'all. It's really making me mad. Okay. Oh my goodness, people eating for their blood type. I've talked about this plenty of times, but eating for your blood type does not have to happen. If you're eating fruits and vegetables, everybody lives and thrives off of fruits and vegetables, so there's no reason for you to be eating for your blood type. For your mom, well, you could get it for your mom. That's perfectly fine. Like, you could get it for your mom. That'd be perfectly fine. I've had, I make my products and services easy for anybody to use. I make it so it's beginner friendly all the way up to the most expert, and it's super, super easy. It's an ebook. I've had people who come to me and they're like, well, I don't really know how to do all this technology stuff. And I'm like, oh, it's super simple. I just send it to you over in a Google document and you download it. Like, it's not that difficult. You don't have to have an iPad or anything. You can print it out if you want to. I'm an iPad girly. I like to have all my things on my iPad, so I can pull all my different books up and have them with me. You are so welcome. Like, you guys are so welcome. What other questions do you guys have for me? Thanks for the follows. I really appreciate it. What other questions do you guys have about insulin resistance, diabetes? I don't know how long we've been on here, but like I said, it was going to be a short one today. We're just doing a little Q&A. I didn't even send out my email like I usually do. If you are not on my email list, you need to get on my email list, just in case something does happen with this app. You will know where we are. You'll get my Wellness Wednesday emails, as well as you'll know when I go live. Follow my other socials if you haven't done that already. Some people who eat for the blood type insist that they have to have me. Yeah, I know, and I've talked to those people, and all those people don't want help. All those people don't want help, and I tell them, I say the same thing every single time. For all those people that want to argue, please don't come to me arguing. If you want help, then come for me. If not, come to me. If you don't want help, don't contact me. Don't ask me any questions, because if you're going to argue about how this supports you, why are you here? Like, if you're going to argue with me about what you need, but you came to me to ask a question, why are you asking me? Like, why did you come here? Like, that's like you going to your doctor, asking your doctor what's going on with your body, and then you sit there and argue with the doctor about what they told you. You don't argue with your doctor when they tell you you need a medication. So why are you arguing? You didn't argue with the doctor that told you that you needed to eat for your blood type. Why are you arguing with me? Why did you come in here argue with me? Go talk to your doctor. Why'd you ask me the question? Go call your doctor. Go have a telehealth call. Go pay your little premium. Like, don't argue with me. I'm like, you can go argue with your doctor. Go argue with your mammy. I'm not the one. Don't argue with me. Do you have anything for nasal drip? What do you mean? What's it like? I've heard of like a nasal drip, but what is that? Like to flush my nose, or your nose is just dripping? I don't know what that means. Thanks for the follow. I really appreciate it. What other questions do you guys have for me about diabetes, insulin resistance, anti-inflammatory help? What you got? Because a lot of people are not realizing, like, there's so many different people out here that are insulin resistant. That means their nose is running. That means so a nasal drip just means your nose is running. That's the same thing when you get a cold. That's your body's sign of telling you that you have something going on inside your body that it cannot fight. Sinuses, that's a sign. Sinuses, allergies, all of that's a sign of inflammation. All of that's a sign of inflammation. Because when you are having issues, let's say you have a cold, just a common cold. So your nose is sitting here, drip, drip, drip. You have a cough, whatever, sneeze, your throat tickles. These are signs that you're having inflammation. When you are sitting there dealing with an issue of the fact that you have, like you said, a nasal drip. When you are sitting there dealing with an issue of the fact that you have, like you said, a nasal drip, this is your body's way of telling you that there's something going on, that you have come in contact with a germ, a bacteria, or whatever else, and you can't fight it off because your body has already been trying to maintain its health every single day and maintain your life. So now it sits here and it's trying to show you signs to let you know you have an overload of inflammation. This is the same thing where people believe that they have to sit here and suppress a fever. When your body is in a fever state because you are sick, that is not the time for you to suppress the fever. You should be helping the fever along because that is your body's way of fighting bacteria and things that need to get out. This is the reason why these babies stay so sick, because people love to sit there and talk about how their kid has been sick and oh my goodness, and they can't get rid of it, but then they keep giving them fever suppressants. And this makes me so mad. I worked with kids for over, I want to say over 5 years, if not 5 years for sure, but over 5 years. I worked with so many different parents who do not need to be parents. Let's just be honest. Y'all don't know how to take care of yourselves, and you sure as hell don't know how to take care of no kids. You sit here and you're like, oh, they're so sick, they don't know what to do, but you're feeding them dairy still, you're feeding them meat, you keep giving them Benadryl, you keep giving them all these prescriptions, and then you send them along their way to go wherever and expose everybody else that doesn't know how to take care of their body as well. And then you sit here and you're trying to figure out why they've been sick for over a month during this time of winter. It's not because it's winter and it's flu season. It's because you keep medicating that child and suppressing a fever that needs to do its thing. Yes, it shouldn't get to a certain point. 104 obviously is dangerous. 103, you should be like, okay, let's get you down or take you to the doctor. But when they hit 100, 101, you shouldn't be automatically in here panicking and going and getting a Benadryl and prescriptions and slapping them together and giving it to that child. You need to realize that that is your body's way of fighting. So what you need to do is help it. Okay, what do? If you know hot points in your body or points that you should be either cooling or heating are your hands and your feet, put some cold things on their feet. Wrap their feet up with some ice packs. Put some ice packs under their back. There's different things that you can be able to do without you using a fever suppressant, because that is you fighting off the bacteria that is happening inside of your body that does not need to be there. That's fighting toxins. You should let that happen. And so that's why I say that, like, we are full of a generation that don't know how to take care of their body. And so since they don't know how to take care of their body, here we are raising a bunch of kids that don't know how to take care of their body. It's been generation after generation. And so as you sit here for long enough, not realizing that the habits that you have run in your family, diseases don't run in your family. And the sooner you realize that, the sooner you'll get out of this programming and you'll start actually taking care of your body. Because you sitting here thinking, well, I'm going to develop it anyway, I might as well just do whatever because I'm here for a good time and not a long time, is going to keep you raising generations that know how to take care of their body. So when you're sitting there crying because your baby has a deformity or your baby has an issue and you're trying to figure out why in the world they developed all these different issues and nobody in your family has it, it's because nobody in your family has a generational map to say, oh, okay, give this one and this one and this one diabetes. No, everybody has the same habits. And that's the generational curse. The generational curse is not the disease itself. The generational curse is that nobody changes their habits. Everybody does the same thing. Your job has a an annual or however long thing to map out what you've done for the year. They map out what you've done, if you've hit quotas, if you have quotas and different things like that, to assess what you've done. And you don't even assess your lifestyle every single year. Your job assesses you every single year to make sure you're doing your job, to give you compliments, or to tell you you've done a terrible job. And you have no assessing habits whatsoever, besides when it turns into January 1st and you want to start all your new resolutions. Let me see. What have I missed? Where can I get your information at? The link is in my bio. The link is in my bio. For all my products and services, the links are in my bio. I'll send anybody that can help them. Exactly. That's why I said, if you're not here to listen, if you're not here to actually get change, please leave me alone. If you want change, go on ahead. I have plenty of people that are in here ear hustling, taking in all the information. Every single live, I have plenty of people that take in all the information. And as soon as I bring up, if you're not ready for change, please leave, I'll have about 50 people in here and it'll drop down to 9. Like, I don't care. That's what people don't understand. Your doctors, the medical industry, they're here for money. I'm going to be supported and taken care of no matter what. The Most High blesses me in different ways and shapes and forms, regardless if you pay for something or not, because I'm doing his work. But I'm not going to sit here and baby you and cater to you when you don't want any change. I'll cater people. I'm not babying anybody. But I'll cater to the ones that are ready for change and that are actually looking for change, because there are plenty of free things out here for you to not only acknowledge and for you to use, and you don't do anything about them. There are plenty of free things out here, let me say this one more time, for you to use, and you don't. So now that you click on my profile and you see that something costs money, all of a sudden I'm a money grabber? But you're not talking to the people that literally sit there and play on your top when it comes to your health and keep you coming back. I don't want you to keep coming back. I hope that you don't have to come back. I hope you buy one thing from me and never have to come back, because it completely changes your life. That's up to you if you want to come back. If you need to come back, that's great. If you want to come back, that's great. If you don't have to, don't. That's great. Please, I hope that this helped. But you go back and forth to the doctor, get no solutions, and then you want to come and cry in my comments. I tell you, oh, I can help you. Here's how, X, Y, and Z. Show you a link, and now you're crying that I'm money hungry. Baby, I wasn't for you. You were looking for an answer, and you wanted it for the free ski. But all the information is out there for the free. You didn't have to come in my DMs to get it. Look up on Google. Y'all love to Google search every excuse me. I almost cursed. Let me get it together. I got heated. Y'all know everybody's information when it comes to these celebrities. Y'all know everybody's business when it comes to these celebrities. Because the internet has endless information, right? So why do you not know how to take care of your body? And there's plenty of misinformation and a whole bunch of rabbit holes for you to fall down here on TikTok, because that's what I've had a lot of people talk about. They went plant-based and they got overwhelmed on this app and Google and everything else, and they don't know where to go and how to do it. They follow Dr. Sabi and they do this alkaline, or they do all these different things, and then they're like, I'm unhappy. I show you how to simplify it and make it into a space where not only are you going to feel comfortable, but it's tailored to your lifestyle. Because I'm not sitting here doing alkaline. I'm not sitting here uncomfortable. That is something that you should do if you have cancer or a chronic illness that is making you unalive and you have a couple of months to live. Yes, that's something you should be doing. But when you're sitting here just like, oh, I want to prevent this, or I might be insulin resistant, or I have a painful menstrual cycle and I want to deal with that, that is the time for you to realize that you have a good amount of time for you to reset your body and help your body, and you don't have to make it uncomfortable. The only time that you have to make this process and the shift of canceling everything out and making it uncomfortable is when you have cancer, when you have something that is severely problematic to your body, where now you're sitting there having to go to a specialist, you're having to do these different things. That's when you need to do a fruit fast for a month or two. But when you're just like, oh, I want to get off this prescription, I'm never going to suggest that you do a fruit fast and just completely cut cold turkey unless you want to. But if you want a change and you want to understand how to live the lifestyle, and you actually want to support yourself, and you want to know how to do it in a comfortable space that is supporting you, giving you the accountability, and also be sustainable, then you will come work with me. If not, I'm not here for you. If not, go on ahead. Keep doing what you're doing, going down the same path. Let me see. I lost it. He said, The doctor doesn't want to see you when you refuse their medicine. Oh yeah, no. They'll literally look at you and say, if you don't want to take their medical advice, or if you're not going to do what they ask, then they're going to have to stop seeing you as a patient. That's exactly what they'll say to you. And you sit there and you keep it pushing. Okay, that's fine. You're not here for me. And they're not. They are practicing. The doctors are, I don't know what that means. You're so welcome. You're so welcome. You're so welcome. I'm not understanding, Nicole. I think you've already asked that question, and I'm not understanding, so I didn't say anything. You have a great day too, Kiki. I don't know if you're still in here, but thank you. Balance is always the key. He said I don't want to go. Oh, I've been doing this I've been doing this social media stuff for a little bit over a year, but I've been plant-based for over 4 years. You don't think I've heard negative comments? You don't think I've heard all the backlash or people being confused and acting like they really want help and they don't? It doesn't bother me. It doesn't bother me. That's why I said, like, it does not bother me at all. I just block and keep it pushing. If you want to hear the information, you do, great. If you don't and you want to argue, I block. I love to block. The block button is my best friend. The block is my VIP list. If you want to be on the VIP list, act a fool in here if you want to. Act a fool if you want to. Like, act a fool. Like, you can act a fool all you want to. I don't know what that means. Is it right? You're so welcome, Sandra. You're so welcome. So what other questions do you guys have for me? What questions do you have? But yeah, that's all I said. Nobody's going to stop my hustle, because that's the thing. Man didn't make me, nor did man sit here and give me this message and give me the healing that I deserved and that I needed. Man did nothing for me. You know what changed for me? When I asked the Most High and I sat there and I'm crying in my room talking about why in the world was I suffering for so long in 2020 and sitting here now because I'm in a comfortable space. I'm at home. I'm able to cook my food and everything else. And I'm sitting there in 2020 asking the Most High, okay, so why is my body not healing? Even though I'm working out every single day. Every single day I'm sitting here dealing with different issues, with inflammatory issues. I have a painful menstrual cycle, and I'm sitting here asking him, so what do I do? And the Most High sat here and he told me, this is what you need to do for your body. And listen, I didn't listen. I started to cut out different things, but I didn't listen as far as this is what's happening with your meat. I started learning about what they were doing with GMOs when it came to different meats of pork and everything else. And then I realized very quickly, oh, they're changing the way that meat is not only raised, but it's produced. Okay. Started to do more research in 2021. By the end of 2021, I said, yeah, you know what? I'm done with this. And I said, I'm going to start winging myself off of meat. We can be hard-headed, but I wasn't hard-headed in the way of like, who was it? Was it Jonah? Jonah and the whale? I wasn't hard-headed like Jonah where I was trying to run away from it, but I was hard-headed in the sense of thinking like, okay, well, I can do this on my own time, right? Because not realizing where we are now. I knew about the 2030 agenda and everything else, but I didn't realize how deep it was really going, because he was setting me up to realize that, hey, there's a platform for this, and you want to get away from not only this job that is treating you like trash, but also start to take care of your own body and show others how to do this. And I never thought I'd be here, but now here I am. Here I am. And I can tell you, not only will I never go back to the lifestyle that I was living, but I will keep preaching this message. I will keep telling his message, because there are too many people out here that quote the Bible about meat, but they don't quote the Bible when it talks about Romans 12:2. They don't quote Romans 12:2, because I'm like, you love to sit here and talk about the fact that, oh my goodness, meat has been sanctified, but you don't flip back and look at Romans 12:2 where it talks about that you should be daily renewing your mind so that you can view what the Most High views is right. So you sitting there looking at your great grandma who was eating meat back in the freaking 30s and 40s. That's not daily renewing your mind. That's looking out on the past. You need to be daily renewing your mind and look at what's going on now today and realize that meat has changed. Dairy has changed. The only reason why they started promoting dairy to you people anyway, because your great-great-grandma and your grandma and whoever else, they weren't even eating and consuming dairy until about the 60s. So half of their life wasn't even consuming all this inflammatory dairy. So now when you look and you flip all the way back to now into 2030, goodness, 2025, and you look at us now, you see not only is our health declining, but everybody's doing the same thing. We're eating meat, we're eating dairy. Y'all all doing the same thing, but expecting a different result. And you somehow view what they were doing back in all the way from the 30s all the way till now, and be like, well, the 1930s, that's when my grandma was born, and she lived until she was 108. Your grandma didn't live through the whole processed food era. Your grandma was not born in the processed food era. Your grandma wasn't born when they started giving people powdered milk. Your grandma wasn't born when they started giving GMO meats. Your grandma was just probably establishing her life and actually becoming either a teen, if not a 20-year-old, when they started producing GMOs and started pushing them out heavy. So I don't care about your great-great-grandma, your grandma, whoever else is still alive and is 108. My grandma lived to 94. She still ate meat and dairy. But guess what? Towards the end of her life, she stopped eating so much meat. It would be a side item versus everybody else makes that the main dish. Meat would be a side item and she would barely eat it. My other grandma, her last dying wish was, I haven't had this in a while. You know what I want? I want a good fish sandwich because I haven't eaten it in years. That's a key in to let you know. These older people are sitting here telling you that fast food does not taste the same. Yet y'all keep hollering up and down how you want some McDonald's, some Taco Bell, or you want some freaking Chick-fil-A. Do you realize that fast food wasn't even accessible into people of color's communities until they started poisoning it? Let me say that one more time. Fast food was not accessible to people of color until they started poisoning it. And if you don't believe me, look up what Church's Chicken was produced and put in communities of color for. Kiki, I don't do that. I'm sorry. So if you didn't hear me, right there, I don't know how else to say it for you. Because they did not start giving us these fast food, convenient food places until they started poisoning us. And then when it became readily accessible and they started making chains, they couldn't help who they poisoned. And then they realized, you know what? This makes people addicted. Let's keep making more chains. This is how McDonald's is all across the country, all across the world. Every single region has their own different type of McDonald's. There's a reason why. There's also a reason why when you look at McDonald's that their ingredients, their fries have pork in them. Why do fries need pork? So if you don't believe that the agenda is against your health, there is nothing that I can do for you. But if you are ready to learn how to change, if you are ready to stop sitting here poisoning yourself, stop being in this programming of believing, and I'm not saying that like, oh, it's going to be intense 12 weeks if you get in my program, I'm going to throw all this crap at you. I throw knowledge that helps you be able to live the lifestyle. I'm not going to be throwing all the content that I give you on my lives. It's completely different. That's why I said I give you plenty of free content of knowledge for you to be able to start. But when you are in that program, I'm giving you the complete walk down of how you heal, how you be able to use herbs to heal, how you be able to use food as your medicine, how you make your own non-toxic products, how you make your own natural medicine. I give you all the how. Here I give you the what's going on, what you need, what the issue is. I help you be able to understand what's going on inside of your body. I give you why you need to change. If you want how, you have to come work with me, because you get plenty of things of how you do it for yourself on the free content that not only is accessible on the internet, but also what I give you with my lives. Okay, I give you plenty of how to start, even though I don't break it down exactly as easily as I do in the program, because the programs, I literally give you sustainable habits. Make food your medicine. Daily renew your mind, like it says in Romans 12:2. And then also remember, and I think this is, I don't remember exactly what chapter it's in, but I think it's in Romans if I'm not misquoting, but it's in the Bible. The Bible sits there and tells you, better is a plate of vegetables of love rather than a fatted calf of hatred. So when you go and you get your McDonald's, do you think that they're giving you love? When you sit there and you go to the butcher and you go get your meat because you only eat from farmers markets, or you only eat the organic, do you think that that animal was slaughtered with love? Do you think that that animal was loved at all during its lifetime? More than just a quick little, maybe a pat, a hug, and a rub, maybe a brush. Think about how, if you have animals at home, how you love on your dog, you love on your cat. Some people even love on their fish. I saw a woman petting her fish, and I had never seen such, and the fish was enjoying it. I had never seen such before in my life. But the point is, an animal knows when it's wanting to be loved and when it's loved. Versus a calf of hatred, an animal of hatred. What happens? Just like in your body, when you have a whole life of trauma and hatred, cancer, tumors, parasites, cortisol levels are high, which is also going to cause more cancer. It's going to cause different organs to fail inside of your body. And that's what you eat and consume. That's what you eat and consume, because you have to have your meat and your dairy, right? According to your food pyramid and your My Plate. I mean, you can go try to hug a fish. I don't know how you would do it, but I thought, okay, anyway. What other questions do you guys have for me before I get off? Like I said, I just went on a whole little tangent. What other questions do you guys have? Thank you for everybody that has commented, that has participated. Hi, Renee. I didn't even see you come in. Hi, I didn't see your hello. I don't miss me at all. At all. You say, yes, that's why I saw it. The Most High took me off instantly one day I left. I don't miss me. I don't miss it at all. I don't miss the lifestyle that I was living. I don't miss any of it. Not a single bit of it. Because the reason why I don't miss it is because I found substitutes, 1, and 2. I see how my body has changed. And since my body has changed, it's been a blessing that released me from a curse. Because a lot of people sit there and talk about breaking generational curses. So when are y'all going to break the generational curse of raising children that don't know how to take care of their body? When are you going to break the curse of you sitting here believing that you have to follow a food pyramid or a My Plate for you to get all the minerals and vitamins and nutrients that you get? When are you going to break that curse? I don't understand what you're saying, Ken. What other questions do you guys have for me? What questions do you guys have before I get off? You said, have you done any raw eats? Well, I live a lifestyle. I don't do diet culture of any kind, way, shape, or form, and nor do I promote it. Because if you're following diet culture, that means you're going to do it for 1 minute and you're going to flop back. That's the reason why people are like, oh, I ate vegan for a couple of weeks, or I went keto or paleo, whatever else. You can't do diet culture and support your body in healing. If you want to help your body heal and to stay in the space of healing, you have to change your lifestyle. There is no diet culture of flipping back and forth that is going to help you be able to heal. You can look and observe society and see that diet culture is not helping. Diet culture is not supporting. And not only is it not helping, but it's actually harming more than anything. Because I talked about this before, and before any questions you have, drop them down. If not, I'm going to get off after this note. They're promoting, are people swimming in this? Oh my God, I thought those were people. I think those are ducks. Okay, because I was about to say, I know people are not swimming in this cold water. Hold on, y'all. I think it's asking me to verify myself. Okay, yeah, it is. Okay, there we go. Okay, so diet culture has led us to the point now where we're telling children that they can have surgeries. And when I say children, they're recommending, I'm pretty sure it was the age of 12. I said 14 last time, but I think it was the age of 12. I really do, because it was an absurd number. They're letting, I'm going to say 14 for now, just so I can look it up later. They're recommending children that are 14 all the way up to 17, because these are children. Like I said, they're not even legal adults. That if they're having issues with losing weight and maintaining a healthy weight, now they're sitting there recommending and promoting them to have a weight loss surgery. I'm going to say this one more time. They're recommending children that, I think it was 12, because I was even saying how the fact that I think I made the comment of the fact that they're not even a teen yet. So they're saying when you're 12 all the way up to 17, your doctor can recommend for you to have a weight loss surgery. They're not telling them that it can cause different issues with your guts. They're not telling them that they can cause them to unalive. As well as they're not addressing the fact that when you are looking at your 12-year-old self all the way up to your grown self now, how much has your body changed? Whether it's a good or a bad change, how much has your body changed? So when you look at the fact that as over time of that span, which is between the age of 12 all the way to 20, that's a lot of time for your body to be able to change. And they even talk about, and we know this, that when you go into your 20s, you kind of hit a second puberty. So think about how, let's say you have a surgery at 12 years old. You get this surgery, it's thrown everything off inside of your body, and then boom, now your body goes through its second puberty, and now it's sitting there trying to figure out what in the world is going on with my tissues inside. And so now you have an organ failure. Because that's one of the side effects. It talked about organ failure. So why in the world would a doctor recommend for a child to have a weight loss surgery? Because those are children. Regardless if you say, oh, well, that's a teen, that's a child. Why in the world would that even be a thought? Because you know why? We believe in diet culture. We believe in quick fixes. They said that you have to wait for a 6-month period, and you have to show your doctor that you've been trying to lose weight in that 6-month period. But however, that 6-month period ain't gonna stop them if they want a weight loss surgery and their doctor's giving them the okay. Do you see what BBL culture has done? Do you see what it has done? Do you see what this weight loss surgery culture has done? We went from weight loss surgery in 2010s. I think that's when it like really hit. 2010s weight loss surgery was insane. People are looking at people like, you're crazy. You got a weight loss surgery? That's insane. To now we're in 2025 and they're recommending kids to have it. Do you see where our society and our system is going? Do you see where it is? So that's why I say that 2030 agenda is against your health. And if you're not doing anything to change the habits that you have and you're already suffering, you're going to be left in the dust. And that dust is you being in the ground. It's not just left behind and you're suffering and you have a doctor to lean on. That doctor ain't going to be there for you. The doctor's not going to be there for you. Because you know why? Your insurance companies are going to stop dropping you. Or they're going to stop covering these surgeries. Or they're going to stop covering your prescription. And then now your doctor's going to look at you and tell you, well, I can't cover you anymore because you can't afford it. So what other questions do you guys have? If not, I'm going to get off. What other questions do you have? Okay, well, I'm not seeing any more questions from you guys. I was scrolling up to see if I missed something, and I don't see anything. I just see, you know, we're just talking, conversing, whatever. So I really appreciate everybody that is here. Thank you so much. This live will be posted on YouTube if you missed it. All my past lives are posted on YouTube. One of my YouTube videos is going out today. So if you are not subscribed, go subscribe to my YouTube channel. I post videos every Tuesday and Wednesday of my lives, as well as I post other content on various platforms. We are diversifying. Also, get on my email list so you know when I go live, as well as you know when my YouTube premieres. And you also get my Wellness Wednesday emails. Every single Wednesday I send out a Wellness Wednesday email. So tomorrow a Wellness Wednesday email will be going out. So don't miss that out. Don't miss out on that. I post every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday on my social, or here on TikTok. Other socials is kind of varying, but TikTok, that's where I post the most. If we start to look like what it looked like the other day, where we're going to lose the app, we are posting on the other ones, but I post the most here because not only is my audience here, we've grown here. I love going live here because I can reach more people, but we are diversifying. So please follow my other socials just in case they take this away. Don't act like y'all did the other day. I was sitting there chilling. Other people were panicking. I don't want that for anybody. Don't panic. Just go follow. Just go follow on other socials. You know you got them, even if you don't use them. I barely use them. Just go follow so you have it later on. So thank you guys for showing up. Thank you for being here for this Q&A. I really, really appreciate all your questions. If you have any questions that you didn't want to ask in front of others, that you have a personal question, please feel free to DM me. My DMs are always open. If you're watching this later on YouTube, don't forget to subscribe and ask any questions in the comments. I do respond. Follow my various socials. Like I said, if you have any questions, DM me. Don't feel afraid. I respond. And thank you guys for showing up. Thanks for being here. I hope the Most High gives you a blessed rest of your day, and I hope this has helped.